Cinematography involves camera work and lighting design. Film directors often rely on cinematographers to achieve optimal composition, which is the arrangement of visual elements within the frame. Cinematography derives from an earlier art form, that is, photography, which in turn has been influenced by painting. Film's affinity with photography is why the cinematographer is usually called the director of photography, DP, or DOP, who is an essential part of the film crew and closely collaborates with the director. As in painting, cinematic composition is keen on various lines and their connotations. See how the lines made by the weapons in the rain enhance a sense of action and movement in this shot. Here, the heads of the characters make up a compositional triangle. All these elements foster visual rhythm and visual tension. Good composition takes into account how the mind organizes information. It makes us look here, then here. To achieve this, composition uses visual characteristics and relationships, such as size, shape, patterns, and order, to cinematically render emotional subtext, layers of meaning, mode, tone, atmosphere, visual metaphors, etc. For example, this interesting frame-within-a-frame composition reveals the emotional subtext of the main character, who is struggling to begin his profound journey towards self-discovery. In addition, the circular frame in this shot alludes to a sense of introspection, playfulness, and ultimately, cinematic beauty. Together with selecting the frame, choosing the lens is an area of cinematography in which the film director, in creative collaboration with the cinematographer, is most heavily involved. This shot, for example, which uses a wide-angle lens, expands the sense of space. The result is that distant objects appear much smaller. This wider field of view also heightens the perception of movement towards or away from the lens. The enhanced sense of depth in this shot gives the viewer a greater feeling of being in the scene. On the other hand, telephoto lenses have a narrow field of view and have the effect of compressing space. The decrease in apparent distance in this shot results in an almost abstract image that renders a closely knit psychological space among the characters. The positioning of the camera also has cinematic consequences. This low-angle shot, for example, makes the character larger than life and dramatically assigns importance to her state. On the other hand, this high-angle shot psychologically places the character in a vulnerable position, since this type of shot sees the character from a higher physical vantage point. The off-level positioning of this candid angle or Dutch tilt shot produces visual tension, which evokes anxiety, confusion, paranoia, shock, mystery, or the general feeling that something is not right. This follow shot immerses the audience into the cinematic experience, which ultimately enhances the suspense in this scene. The cinematographer is key in the film's lighting design, which orchestrates the highlights and shadows that shape the overall composition of the shot, thus creating the spectator's sense of scene space. Lighting guides the spectator's attention throughout the shot. It can emphasize facial features, textures, and other details. It can beautify, make ugly, exaggerate, or subdue any object in the frame. Classical Hollywood cinema developed the three-point lighting technique. The first component is the key light, which is the primary frontal light source. The second is the fill light, which is diffused and serves to lighten shadows. Last is the backlight, also called the hair light or shoulder light, that separates the subject from the background.